just took a sip of my coffee and it was lovely. Did you see my
You got a
my
new
new
mug?
mug? It's lovely. Can camera 84 see that?
Better not. I'll see if I can sort it. Camera 84.
It's like
Camera 84.
it's like they go, hey,
Show.
it's there. It's there. Can I see your one?
What's your mug saying to it though?
My mug's saying Business Babble on air because we are on air. Look at that. That's
Love
just
the
lovely.
merchandise.
Do you know what? I prefer a left-handed one though.
Well, I'll need to order them up then.
I was like the left-handed hammer. I like that joke. Anyway, back to this, boys. Let's get straight into it. So,
Today,
Wicus.
yeah. Today, more strategic. It's let's call it direction of travel, and it is the things that you don't get to do when you're doing your day job or your side hustle or you're busy working in your business. And it starts with the big question: is why did you start this business? Why do you want to be in business? Because business isn't for everybody. And I'm going to start the story so you understand why it's important. I know a guy that started a business, and the reason why he started a business was his current job. He was working 18 hours a day, 6 days a week. He hardly got to see his family. And he said, I'm going to start my business, and what's going to happen is I'm going to be spending a lot more time with my family. And guess what? He was working 7 days a week, 18 hours a day, in his own business. So why he started his business is really, really important. And that's what you really need to understand is what do you want from your business? Why are you starting this business? Because being in business is a lonely place. A very lonely place. It's a scary place. So if I had to ask you, why did you start both your businesses? What would you say?
I was looking at you, Johnny.
Yeah, you looking at me, yeah.
Looking at you. Looking at you.
Why I started my business, I think there was a few key elements to that. I felt that I could do it better. Genuinely, I felt I could do it better, and I'd reap my rewards. The hard work that I was putting in from my previous employer, I felt I wasn't getting rewarded enough and wasn't valued enough. That's generically what I think 99.9% of people do think at the very start of it. I want to be very, very clear here because it's easy to tell everybody a story from where you are now, where you're a little bit more comfortable. You're still paddling, paddling like mad in some areas, but I'm really bringing it back to it. And it was generally, I didn't feel valued. And I felt that I could go and do it better myself with my own ability and steer it anywhere I wanted to.
Okay.
But I am aware that some people pick flexibility. And I think I was one of those people at the start, but I was completely wrong with that. You spend more time on it because you're more passionate and you see the rewards coming, and there's just that inner drive, that determination. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? It's a good question.
Aye. Flexibility was definitely a key aspect in mine.
Right.
And to an extent, there is flexibility when you start because you can block out time, but inevitably you do start working more, especially in a startup phase, which is a nightmare. But
The thing about this is there is no right or wrong answer, okay? But normally when you look at it, you need to look at it, if you think about a triangle, you need to look at three things. Are you starting it to make more money? Are you starting it to have more flexibility or freedom, day-to-day type stuff? Or are you starting it to spend more time with the people you like? But you need to understand why you are in business and what you want this business to deliver. And I'm going to share a brutal truth with you. If you don't understand what you want your business to deliver, better to stay in a job. Better to have the security of the money, because when you start your business, no salary is guaranteed, especially in the startup phase. You're burning through cash. There's a lot of things that you don't know. So you need to really understand why you are starting this business and what you want this business to deliver for you. Not next month, but break it down into 90-day sprints. What do you want to achieve in the first 90 days? What do you want this business? It could be something as simple as picking the kids up from school every Friday. That could be one of your goals. Okay, not necessarily about a goal, but it's about what you want this business to deliver. That freedom, that flexibility, or make my first sale within 90 days. You need to understand what you want this business to deliver.
I think that's a good point. You need to really think about it, because I would say, for me, and I think a lot of people that I know have just jumped into it for the right reasons, and then, realised the reality of it. However, you can get caught on the hamster wheel very, very quickly. And what I mean by that is you're just constantly going through the cycle, constantly, and always saying you're very, very busy. I'm so busy. No, you're not. You're just not spending enough time. And that goes back to what you said. You manage to work that flexibility because you can block out time. So for any of the would-be startups, thinking about it, you can dictate the times that you're going to work, but just make sure your profitability is there and all the other jargon that we've went through in other episodes. But a really interesting question and something to really think about why you're starting business and what the goals for it.
And it's true, just like you have to set your personal goals have to align with your business goals. That's basically what you're saying there. Because if they don't, then it's all focused on one thing, and that's what will take over. And all the things that you thought were going to happen just won't happen because you've just not aligned them.
What does that mean for anybody that's listening?
Like if, for example, the kids, if you've got to take kids to school on a Friday, but all of a sudden the job's in, so the job's got to take priority and the kid's now missing out. So you've not aligned that goal properly. So if taking the kids to school, even in the mornings, you might start an hour later now because you don't have to go into your job. You're taking on the work, so you can dictate that you start at 10, allowing you to go in and take the kids to school, and just setting those boundaries up. Because startup phase inevitably will open all the boundaries. You run about daft, just doing everything for everybody. Free weekends, answering emails and stuff at night time, and then people just become expectant that if they've sent an email at 10 o'clock at night, where's my answer? I should have this by 10:30. Yeah. And that's just narrowing, and we did it all. We just then started to bring these boundaries back in again. So yeah, it's, again, if you're just starting off, if we were told this at the start, it would have been much easier.
I think it would have been.
It's about thinking what you want your business to deliver to you. It could be something as, I want to go on holiday 4 times a year, or I want a golf studio.
Who would want that?
Who would want that? It is this business, because you're going to be working so hard in it and so hard at it, there needs to be rewards, and it's the personal aspirations. And again, I'll say to you that if you can't deliver, if your business doesn't deliver that, it is better to get a job, because in a job you've got security, you don't have worries, you go to work, you deliver, you come home. Right. Being in business is very different, because one of the things you need to look at is what motivates you, what gets you out of bed, what excites you, and you need to build that into your business.
So, here you've asked the first question, which was a great question. What attitudes are the right attitudes to display it in business then? If I were to fire that out to you, Wicus, what's the best attitude attitudes?
For me, attitude is everything, and I think it is to be positive. 90% of what happens to you, you've got no control over, but 10% is in how you respond to it. So for me, a positive attitude and outlook, you have to look at yourself, because you're on display all the time. All the time, every single thing you do, people are going to be looking at you. So when a problem comes your way, do you go, not another problem? Or do you go, well, that's good to know. Let me see what I can do about this problem and solve it for you. It's how you come across. And that, I think, attitude for me is positive attitude, positive outlook. And that links back to mindset and the problems that you're solving for your client. That would be one that I would definitely be looking at is, and attitude then manifests itself in behavior. So if you say, I'm going to solve a problem, and you don't do anything about it, you don't get back to the clients. That's what they're going to be seeing, and that's what they're going to be remembering. But the thing about attitude is attitudes transfer. So if you have a bad attitude in the beginning in your business, when you employ a team, that attitude will eventually rub off on your team.
Cascade on you.
Yeah, because they say, oh, the boss says that. So when you deal with clients, not every client's an ideal client, and sometimes you would want to say, this damn client, not in front of staff, don't do it. Because that is the attitude that you display. And very quickly we become the sum of our habits. And a habit is just doing something repeatedly. So in the morning, Johnny, what's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
You're going to laugh here.
Open your eyes.
Well, I instantly regret asking that question.
Anyway, that's all I'll say. No, generally, and this is something that I've been taught, I actually smile. I can't remember what the statistics are, but it releases dopamine, endorphins, something like 12 to 20%. Gives me a better chance. Now, I'm a morning person anyway, but I just smile, and now I actually did it for that length of time. I think it was 12 or 14 years, and I just do it automatically. It's great when you're on holiday with the boys going snowboarding and you wake up and smile right in front of them and go, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm just
You think
smiling.
you've got up in the wrong way. You know what I mean? It's cold out there, though.
And that is why I regret asking that question.
But that's the truth,
But-
though, and that's been down to a habit and wanting to get a competitive edge on myself, if that makes sense.
It does. It's what motivates you. It's what gets you up in the morning. Is that attitude? Is that behavior? That's what you're displaying. And that's the start of your business journey, because you never think about that direction of travel. You never spend time on just sitting back and thinking, what is it that I actually want from this business? What is it that I actually want to deliver? And it could be something like in 5 years' time, I want an aeroplane. It could be something like that.
Maybe a paper one. Mike, I want you to answer that question. What's the first thing you think about in the morning?
I'm not sure, really. Like, I'm a very up and at it in the morning. I tack up. Like, I get up in a pretty quick way. For you, I couldn't get the words out, but like
Great
I'm
being
up,
put on the spot.
I'm up, showered, dressed, and I'm out the door. Like, I don't need to do the hair, sorted. And then that's me. I'm the same. My best hours are the sort of first 3 hours in the morning when I get in. So I'm in early. I'm in before everybody, pretty much every day. There's nice and quiet. Then I've got some targets and tasks I want to hit before everybody starts coming in, and I'll get through those pretty quick, you know. But once people start coming in, then all that starts to kind of slow down a bit with the different
So
questions.
would you
phone
say
calls.
somebody starting their business do they all have to get up early?
Well, I'd say it's a good thing to get into the habit of.
Getting up
Don't
early.
get me wrong. Like at night time, I'm like a 5-year-old because my eyes will be going like that, and I'll still fight it because I don't generally go to sleep till after 12.
Right, okay.
So don't have a lot of hours that I need to sleep.
That is a personal thing. Some people are morning people. Like I'm at my best in the morning. At night, I could be good, but I prefer not to be. Some people are much better at night. So you need to find your own natural rhythm.
Yeah.
And that's what a business gives you. It gives you that flexibility and that freedom to choose. But I do think you need to establish some good habits in the beginning.
You'll
and
find
that'll
as
set you well.
as you go, you'll find, and you should really be paying attention to when your most effective hours in the day are, because then you can really start to look and focus on what's the important things you need to get done in that day, is get them done in that period. So you know you're getting through what you need to get through.
So a good checklist would definitely be, a checklist is a really good thing. You do it and I got taught off somebody else. Write down what you're doing the night before, so you've got it in the morning, and it's a great feeling when you're striking them off, whatever it is you've got to do. It's a great feeling, and having a plan, and I would say that's displaying a great attitude.
Sense of achievement.
Yeah.
It's about planning, because we don't plan. We think we can just wing our way through it.
Because the opposite of that is when you start to feel it's overwhelming. There's
Yeah.
too much stuff going on, and if you've not got things written down, you know, there's certain things you can't control, so they have to take a back step because you have no control on them. So what can you control? And then out of that, what is the priorities on that? And just go one at a time, and you'll see that starting to come down. And inside, you'll start to feel better because you can see it coming down. So it's and things today, like even on your emails, there's the task bar you can drag out and put them all in there. You know, so you can have them everywhere, calendars, whatever you want, whatever works for you.
So that's great and great answers. So now flip it. What's the bad attitudes that you see?
I would say getting up and not really having the drive to go into work. That's not a great attitude. It's definitely one of them, because there'll be days when you just don't feel like you're at it. So the attitude there is the easy answer is just to maybe not do that today. And then that list that you had's now maybe just doubled because there's all the stuff happening for the day for you not being in. And then things can then start escalating and get on top of you. So I would say a bad attitude. Bad attitude between that and then just if a day's gone bad, taking that out on your customers.
Aye.
You know, there's it's easy to be all friendly and nice on the front end but when things are going really bad, that can cascade out to the shop front, if you like. Like we had workwear with one of the companies we just got, and fair enough, like he'd asked for artwork which we were a day later giving, but then like 3 or 4 weeks later it's still not done, and we're still looking for proofs, and it was just getting ridiculous, back and forward, just trying to get the thing started. And then we're just like, look, just don't bother. It's like, it's just, and then the phone call at the back of that was quite horrendous from him about how he's reacted to that after it all. Never had that in his life and blah, 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 blah. And it was just like, well, you know, your customer service has been shocking. And then when we went in, because he'd already made the stuff, hadn't he had a proof?
Wow.
So we said we would go in and have a look at it. Because at the end of the day, you know, we could easily have walked away from it, but we're not really like that. So if the stuff's good enough, then we'll take it and try and build a better relationship there. But it would really depend on how he was going to react to that. So when we went in, the stuff was actually, you know, it was good, passed. But he was much nicer, and there was a free hat thrown in, and you know, and you're walking away from that situation now feeling much better. Whereas if it had carried on, you're just never going to go near that again. So
the question would be,
I forgot there was a question.
the question after that, would you go back?
Now I would.
Right.
I would give it a chance. I'd always
the way
give
you
somebody
made
another
it-
chance. Because as a business person, I understand that there could be other things that's motivated that attitude.
Aye. But it's interesting what you said. It made us feel.
Aye.
And that's what people remember,
yeah.
the way you made them feel. Even though it's went through a shitstorm, you remember how you made them feel. That's good
Exactly.
though. That's a good point. So for all the listeners there,
Flip it.
just remember,
Yep. Have it as you, the man. You're the guy now. So how are
Aye.
you dealing with that?
remember how they feel on the receiving end and how you're led to be, how you're made to be feel on the receiving end of things as well. And you could easily change it just by going, right, need to change here, need to adapt here.
That's where it's good to step back. Like I'm very good at stepping back from a thing. You don't react. Take your time. Make sure you're in the right frame of mind that you can deal with professionally and not personally. And you'll find things will go a long, long way.
I think one of the things is don't take it personally, because that's a natural tendency.
It's hard to do
people you take it personally, and then you lash out. Best advice I ever got was do nothing. So when you hit an obstacle or a dilemma, do nothing. Don't react. Just take a deep breath, and if it's a bad email, type it out on notes, not in an email, because you might just hit send. But type it out on notes or Word, and just vent your frustration. Just vent it, because you need an outlet. But never ever send anything in anger. Never ever send anything when it's bad. I think those are sort of habits that you need to start forming. Because in the beginning, I don't think the customer is always right, but the customer remembers how you make him feel. And if you make him feel bad, he's going to tell 12 of his friends what a bad job you did. And that's your business reputation ruined before you even started.
So let's say you started your business. We've now talked about you've got the great attitudes, all this jazz. The next one is what's motivating you? What's keeping you motivated in the game of entrepreneurship and business? No, I could easily ask you what motivates you, but asking the listeners there, what is actually going to motivate you to keep going and keep going? Because things do become difficult. So throw it out to the room here.
Early stages, there's obviously money's a big motivator. Like we're saying, flexibility. There's all these things that are attractive that you think you can achieve when you start your business. But I think the big one is your vision for me. Every time things get a bit difficult and you think, why am I doing this? Well, the vision is why you're doing it. And if you can go back to that, where you're looking to end up, that's what drives you back into the positive mindset again, for me.
I think
What about you?
motivation will be different for everybody, because people do it for different reasons. Centers, around maybe money is important to you. Maybe day-to-day is, but vision is definitely something to bring you back into the now, so you can say, okay, this is why I'm doing it. And that is why it's important to understand why you're in business, because that will motivate you. So why am I doing this? What do I want from this business? And you constantly need to refer yourself back to it, because it's about your mindset, your mind frame. Why are you doing it? So the vision definitely, Michael, is a very important part, because it's the big picture. What's in it for me at the end of the day? What can this business deliver? And that's what you want to do. You want to constantly be thinking, and this is the part where they say working on your business instead of working in your business. It's about going back and checking your motivations. What gets me up in the morning? Am I going to have a good day or a bad day? The analogy is you get out of bed and you stub your toe. Now you've got two choices. You can either curse and swear and be cross with everybody and bark at everybody. Or you could go, damn, that was sore, and get in the shower and move on with your day. That will set the rest of your day.
Yeah.
So it's the little choices, never ever the big things. It's the little choices that you make consistently every day.
Yeah, fair play. Fair play. So does any of you have any other questions around this subject?
No. On this one, no.
Not so much on this one. This one is really personal. I would say to you, spend some time and really think what you want from your business, because you never do it. You jump into business because you've got an idea or you've got a problem to solve, but you never actually sit down and write, what do I want this business to give me? Do I want to retire at the age of 50? Is this what my business needs to give me? Freedom, flexibility, more money.
So is this looking at the end goal?
It's more looking at the end goal.
These I'm now learning off you guys, because I'm hearing all these buzzwords, end goals and attitudes and visions and stuff like that. Some people start and going, what the hell are they talking about? Yeah. I just want to work for myself. And that's the basic reality of it. I just want to work for myself. But if we get snippets from you, and hopefully snippets from me, it'll just elevate them very quickly. So you're talking about why you want it. What do you want out of it?
What do you want out of it? And to link it back to what we said in one of our first ones, we were talking about what is the process that you're going to be taking, where you're going to be going, the problems you're solving. But linking it back to your vision, you would say, like, in 3 years' time, I want this business to be turning over £300,000 a year, and I want to take 4 holidays a year. You then need to break it back down into what you want to do after 2 years, after 1 year. And even better is to break it down into 90-day sprints. And that's what I mean with the end goal. So you start with the end in mind, and then you move it back. So you're always looking longer term, because you start a business and you think, oh, it's going to be easy. You know, when you look at starting a business, you think it's a linear line. I start here at the bottom and I end here at the top. It doesn't. One thing I've seen is, you know, when they measure your heart rate, the highs and the lows, that's what the business journey is like. The highs are high, the lows are low, and in between it's that all the time. And that's when you need to really understand why you're doing it, the end goal, why you're doing it. And we don't. I'll say to you, when we started our business, I didn't have an end goal. I thought the thing I need to do is I need to provide for my family, and that's why you start your business.
But that's, I think, what we're doing here, though, is the fact that when we started, we didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
We're just diving in and learning as you go. Whereas this, we just want you to get thinking like this early as you can, because it definitely will help you grow quicker, faster and better. You'll have better businesses with it. Better, like your lifestyles that you're looking to achieve, all this will be faster achieved. That's tongue-tied as well, but, you know.
Because you're becoming a lot more strategic. Instead of just getting stuck in the day-to-day, you're actually becoming a lot more strategic in your business.
Well, look at this just now. We've started this new business with the information that we have. Even trying to talk through this podcast the first time we're doing it, we get tongue-tied with things, but that's authentic. No, we're never going to be polished at the start.
Thanks, John.
You're a great guy, though, really. But let's base it on the reality of it. We want to rewind or re-record that, but the reality is we're authentic. We're going to get things wrong, but we'll keep marching on, get the next one. And when we've got the 100th episode, we'll be a lot better than the first one. And it'll be the same as you guys starting a business. You're going to be a bit shite to start off with, but you'll get better. But if you've got the help from us and good people around you, you will excel quicker, and you need to learn, suck up all the right information and become stronger, resilient, all these things.
And that's, some things will resonate more than others, and that's what you want. You just want these golden nuggets.
Aye,
really.
100%.
No, it's. I said to you before, it's never one big thing. It's a combination of small little things. When they were training Team GB for Tour de France, the guy training them, and I forget his name now, but he was talking about 1% increments. So he just wants you to be 1% better than you were the day before. And that's what you need to do in business. Just be 1% better than you were the day before. Do one thing differently. One thing better. And that's what this is about. It's about understanding where you're going to. And that's why it's called direction of travel. But it's personal. It's about you, not the business. And you made the point is align your personal goals with your business goals. Because if they misaligned, it'll never work.
So put all this good information into practice. So what we've got to look forward to next episode?
So next episode we're talking about, it's a big word. It's called company culture. And I know what you're thinking. I'm just starting this business. It's rubbish. It's for somebody with employees. It's not. It is how you show up, how your business shows up. So we're going to be talking about it. We're going to really drum it down. We're going to talk about your values. So what's important to you? And a value is a feeling. And I'm going to preempt it a little bit. And everybody wants to have the values of honesty and integrity. And those two are fakeable values. I can tell you that now. People say, oh, I've got integrity. Lots of politicians stand up and go, I have integrity. And then 6 months down the line, you found out that he took a bribe or he spent 11 grand on a cell phone bill and he goes, no, it wasn't me. So integrity and honesty are applied values. So we're going to be just talking to you about how to craft a good set of values. It's important because that's how you show up to your customers. It becomes even more important when you have a team because you want them to show up in the same way.
Excellent. Well, guys, stay tuned and remember this one famous quote. This is your world. Shape it or someone else will. Ciao for now.